Today is the 5th of July 2020. This is Mr. Abundance. I want to welcome each and every one of you to our live global Sunday session where you are asked to bring your questions and your ideas. It was George Bernard Shaw that once said, the people who will make it in this life, when they look around for an opportunity and it's not, they will create it. I think that is what we have done with TAC. When we look around for an authentic and genuine opportunity and we did not find it, we created it ourselves. And in the creation of this opportunity that has never been done this way, because everything about TAC is unique, from the inception to its execution to its registration and certification are all unique. Our social programs, our structure, universal, it is unique. There is nothing comparable with TAC. And what does that show? It shows leadership of the highest level and quality and progressive in its nature. And so, as Robert Schuller would have said, tough time do not last, but tough people do. And so this is the time when we are going to have our tough times. Since we are going uphill, I sent out the link and it referenced to Oxfam predicted over 800 million jobs will be lost by 2030. And the question is, can cryptocurrencies reverse that? Now, I want you to show some trend of what is happening right now in terms of the development of cryptocurrency, because I want the Tiashans to understand that when this coin is certified, it should be recognized by the globe. And so when you call Bitcoin and Ethereum, the abundance coin should be in the same breath until we take over the industry. I just want you to understand. When you hear them talking about this bank and that company and that exchange will be accepting Bitcoin, when they call those names, TAC must be in the same breath, not in the second breath, but in the first one. But it can only happen if we become meaningful. And so I will now share my screen. No, let me deal with Oxfam. And so yes, let me share my screen, because folks might believe that I am, making up these things. And so let's deal with Oxfam now. Here you have Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany. And here the headline says robot automation will take 800 million jobs by by 2030. It says that the study of 46 countries, 46 countries, and 800 occupation by the McKinsey Global Institute found that up to 1/5 of the global workforce will be affected. It said 1/3 of the workforce in richer nations like Germany and the US may need to retrain for other jobs. Machine operators and food workers will be hit the hardest, the report says. I want you to understand what the report is saying. Poorer countries that have less money to invest in automation will not be affected as much, according to McKinsey, which is a lie. I think this is the biggest lie in this report, because what is happening, that the richer countries are finding it very economical to create factories in less developed countries. So I am not too sure why they're saying this, because automation will reduce the demand for labor. It's not like in those days when you label things with your hands and you box things with your hands. Those days are done. Now, the report continued to say that the authors see tasks carried out by mortgage brokers, paralegals, accountants, and some back office staff as especially vulnerable to automation. That is what they're saying now. Office staff, accountants, paralegals. It says that job requiring human interaction such as doctors, lawyers, and teachers, and bartenders are seen by McKinsey as less prone to automation. The other day in China, I saw robots serving food in a restaurant. Specialized lower wage jobs such as garden and plumbing, okay, I can understand it, but with these ones, and care work will also be less affected. It says that the US alone, 39 to 73 million jobs will be eliminated. So when some of us are saying that we're going to the US or going to Europe for better lives, may I say to you, those days are fastly coming to an end with the invention of automation. I told you this morning what happened to me, the shock I received when I went through the airport at JFK. I told you, I told you when I went to Chase Bank on 233rd and White Plains Road in North Bronx. What shocked me, because I went to that bank so many times and it was lined with tellers. But the last time I went, there were about 5 or 6 ATM machines inside. Apart from what they have outside for 24 hours, they had about 5 or 6 ATM machines inside. And they're showing the customers how to use them. And when you look now at the teller booth, there were only 2 of them, just in case you had problems with the new setup. So that is what the world is coming to. And that is why in TAC, we have to execute this coin at the quickest level. If we understand what is coming, we really don't have time to waste. The spinning around, we don't have that time to spin. The tribalism, the, as it were, the jostling for position, we don't have time for those intact. You see what I'm saying? So we will need to understand and discern the time that we're in. And so the question is, can cryptocurrency reverse that 800 million jobs? Now, I want you to, as I share my screen again, because we must understand the power of cryptocurrency. In 2010, the price of Bitcoin was 0.003 of a cent. We're talking about an unknown coin that people like the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, Damien, was calling a fake. All the news media, the elites, the financial system, and the banks, the politicians, all were calling it fake and a coin to be used to do nefarious activities, speculative in nature, they says, a coin that has no value. When it came out in 2009 up to 2010, the first quarter, it was still at 0.003 of a cent. An unknown coin produced by, up to today, an unknown person. So we don't know if it's a person or a company that is called Satoshi Nakamoto. We don't know. All what we know, we're using this pseudonym. This pseudonym, we are associated with Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto. But nonetheless, I just want you to understand the advantage that the abundance coin has. When the first coin came out in 2009, 1 year later, it was still at 0.003. So had you bought $15 worth of that coin, you would have gotten 5,000. Now, buying that coins in 2010, $15 worth, by 2014, 3 years later, you have that same coin that was once 0.003, 3 years later at $750 per coin, which means you would have had 3,750,000 US dollars in the bank. Now you tell me what other business you could have entered with $15 and 3 years later accumulate 3.75 million US dollars. I'm asking you the question because the question is, can cryptocurrency reverse what Oxfam reported? And Mr. Abundance is saying, without any reservation, yes, it can. Because Bitcoin has showed us that there is a new sheriff in town, even not fully endorsed by the elites. They're all now grappling to how they can control it. And so by 2017, your $15 investment I am saying, you know, by 6 years later, that $15 now worth over 100 million US dollars. It dropped in 2018 because Bitcoin went from 20,000 per one coin to 5,957. So that $15 went down. That 100 million now went down to 29 million. And 10 years later, it's now just about 47 million. That same $15 that you would have invested, that would have given you 5,000 Bitcoin. So I am showing you the power of cryptocurrency. And the question that many would have asked, especially the intellectuals, what would I have had to do to achieve that amount of money? And so you tell them it's all about buying and holding. It's all about creating utility for the coin. That's it. It is too simple. There is no calculus to calculate. It's not difficult. It is too simple. And that is why people like Eric Finman at the age of 12 could have figured it out and invested $1,000 in Bitcoin, and today is now the youngest millionaires in Bitcoin, because he didn't have any degree to spend time to make it more difficult than what it is. He heard about it and he said to himself, no, this is uncommon. This is uncommon. And he used common sense. Today, with $1,000 investment, he is now a multi-millionaire. As I said last week, when I showed him, show me which part of him has the mark of the beast. A matter of fact, at age 15, Eric Finman hired 20 of his teachers, the same teachers who told him at the age of 12 that he should drop out of school and go and spin burgers, because that is what the teacher at the time saw him to achieve. Nothing more than a burger spinner. But at least the burger spinners of the world, or the intended burger spinners of the world, will surprise us. PhDs and their children shall work for those that are intended to spin burgers. Because look at Eric Finman's story. At the age of 50, he is hiring the same teachers. He is hiring the same teachers who told him to drop out. What a conundrum. It's all about money. It's all about wealth creation. When you show up to a crisis and you don't have money, you may as well sit down, or you may as well don't go. And so we are saying, TAC, the abundance coin, gave birth on the 4th of November, when we started out our first milestone. We have successfully raised and produced the coin. On the 30th of March, the abundance coin went public. Public in its first round at 25 cents. June 15 saw the beginning and the end, the end of the first round and the beginning of the second round. Now the coin appreciates to 50 cents. This will end in September. We are now saying that There is a third and final round where the coin will go to 75 cents. But we are moving as meaningful specifics to grow and to expand the community so that we can cancel the third round and go straight to the public, because we are now in a period that requires urgency of now. I said we are at a period, and I'm going to show you why we're at a period of the urgency of now. If we want the coins to move from just being coins to money, as Pastor Chibudo, he says, Mr. Abundance, you know, I have agreed with everything that you have said, except for what I'm now showing you. Because Mr. Abundance is saying, based on what I was seeing in the global community of Tiashin, based on our social programs, based on our meaningfulness, based on our structure, I was saying to the Tiashin, and I'm still saying to the Tiashin, that this is where I am seeing the appreciated value of TAC, because it's not all of us that are meaningful. And so I do not have the luxury to hype. I have to be as realistic as possible. And so Pastor Chibuda said, oh no, Mr. Abundance. He's now declaring to the entire community that TAC will be at 10,000 in a year from now. And so that is a challenge that he has put out into the community. From the window that he looks out of, he saw that TAC one coin at 10,000. But Mr. Abundance was very conservative in his forecast. And so I said, if you had 4,500 coins in your wallet, and by the way, every Tiashin that are in the foundation, and when I say in the foundation, anyone that bought coins before March 30th, you're in the foundation. And so if you're in the foundation, your target before this coin reaches to $1 is to have 10,000 TAC. That should be your aim. And it can be done by two ways: by your personal investment or by referral. You now have an opportunity to get 20% of every person that you refer, if you are able to meet that volume of 500 a month by your referrals. And so you must challenge yourself. I said, poverty should not know your address. I said, poverty should not know your address as long as you live and intact. And so when that return letter return to your address of poverty, it should say unknown. That person doesn't live here anymore. And so that is the challenge. And so we're saying any ones that have 4,500 coins, and that is what you would have received if you were in the foundation with 500 US, you would have received 5,500 coins. And we're saying that those persons would have received, those investors would have received those coins at 11 cents. Now, we're saying that at $1, and that is what we hope to do this year. By the way, we're planning by September that this coin should move to at least $1, because we're saying by August we should be certified the coins, and it will take about 2 weeks to get it on to the exchange. So by September, we're saying that your $5 investment should now move to 4,500 US. And by 2021, which is next year, tax should be at least at 500 per tack. And so if you had 4,500 tack coins, your appreciated wealth should be US 1.35 million. And we're saying because of our structure, our social program, our television, our unity of purpose, by 2023, tax should be at least 5,500 US dollars. In 2023, it means that we'll be able to pay off the debt of the African Caribbean countries to China and to the world. And in fact, we will hold the debt because they have to pay us back. Because these are the people that have control over your government. When they speak, your government must ask how high to jump. I am saying to the community of Tiashans, the reason for the abundance coin is to cancel all that. The abundance community coin is to put back power in the hands of the poor and to determine our own affairs, to produce what we eat and eat what we produce, to be able to know what we are consuming. And so when we buy rice and fish, we don't have to worry if they are plastic, because that is what China is sending in, especially to Africa. And your leaders dare not. They dare not refuse anything come from China because you don't own your ports. You don't even own your government. They're only there. But they're only there for China and to the West. That's all. Look at who is raping your minerals. Look at all the prime business ventures in Africa and the Caribbean. Who is in control? Who is the one that are financing? I'm asking you the question. And so TAC is going to settle the Afro-Caribbean debt. When the coin goes to 4,500, the allocated 100 million coins in TAC will then appreciate to over 450 billion. And we will settle, we will put up a very sophisticated, qualified, high-powered committee to renegotiate those loans and to put in new terms, because it's not a free-for-all for those governments that we are settling their debt. Oh, no. So we will control their affairs, our own affairs. And so we're saying by 2025, where everybody should be meaningful, tax should be at 9,000. And so that 500 investment that you would have made, that given you 4,500 coins, your appreciated value, your asset, your worth should be over 40 million. And that is why I am saying that Tiashans, you now have an opportunity to walk into your community and look around and say, what difference can I make? What difference can I make in my life? That of my family. I am saying to you, what difference can I make in my community? That is the question. You go back to your school and you say, you know what? I want to put on a wing on this school. A wing, whether research and technology lab, I don't know what it is, but I want to put on a wing, or I want to reconstruct the school because it helped me to be the person I am today. You go to the hospital and you said, what can I do? The beds, the equipment, medicines are lacking. What can I do? May I say to you, it can only be done by money. And this is what I am saying, that Tiashans, we are the salt of the earth. I said we are the salt of the earth. And that is why I am saying that we have to do this with a sense of humility. I said that we have to do this with a sense of humility. The responsibility is great. And so let me move quickly into, because the other where I am now, the other thing here is, and I think I can move straight into that. Let me see. And at this point, Venezuela. All right. So I will go straight into what is happening. Now, this is the headline. That's the headline there. And I'm just going into a flow as to where cryptocurrency is taking us. So you understand the urgency of now. Why we cannot turn to the left. May I say to you now, if Eric Finman at the age of 12 had put that money in the bank, that $1,000, it would still remain $1,000 today. And a matter of fact, it would not have the same spending power as 8 years ago. But look what $1,000 did in Bitcoin. A multi-millionaire today. Online data analyst points to Venezuela accepting Bitcoin for passport. And I want you guys to put in this headline and read the information for yourself. Don't let anybody tell you anything. So when you go out there talking about cryptocurrency and somebody say, this is a scam, oh, don't invest in it. They don't know what they're saying. That is why you who are in the class must teach them, because they are ignorant just as we all were. Because at one time I said we all were ignorant of what is cryptocurrency. But we cannot stay ignorant anymore, because may I say to you, when this window of opportunity is closed, when you can get coins like the abundance coin, who in a couple of probably months or a year or two will be accepted by the African Union as the cryptocurrency of Africa, where will you be? I'm asking you the question though, because there is where we're going. We are not here to fight anyone. We are playing the role, and we're taking the advice of Buckminster Fuller, who says that do not try to fight to change the existent reality. If you want to change what exists, create a new model. That's what we're doing. And he continues to say, do not fight powers, but use them. And that is what we're doing. We are not fighting any power. We are not fighting any system. We are creating a new one, and we're working with the powers that is there. Then we have over 2,500 Austrian merchants can now accept cryptocurrency payment. Now, as I said, go online and read up for yourself. This is coming out of Austria. More than 250 merchants in Austria can now accept 3 types of cryptocurrency via their payment processor Salamantex. The company explained that the system was tested. Now, I'm saying to all of us that TAC must be mentioned when they say that, for example, here, 3 types of cryptocurrencies, TAC must be one of them. And if it is one, it must be TAC. And so, according to our youth ambassador, is now TAC and all coins. Because all coins really are all other coins. That phraseology was coined after Bitcoin. So any coin that came out after Bitcoin is classified as all coins, which means alternate to Bitcoin. But the global ambassador flipped that on his head overnight. The global ambassador says it is now TAC and all coins. Who am I to reverse that? And so we have here in the United States of America, Washington, D.C. lawyers can accept cryptocurrency as payments. I told you the other day that as of, matter of fact, July 1st of this year, Louisiana citizens can now spend cryptocurrency as a medium for goods and services. Here we have in Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States, lawyers can accept it. It's just the beginning. It says here, lawyers in the nation's capital can accept cryptocurrency as payment for legal services as long as the fee agreement is fair and reasonable and the lawyer can safeguard the virtual property. The District of Columbia Bar said in an ethics opinion, attorneys cannot hold back the tides of change, even if they would like to. But not only, it doesn't go for attorneys only. The United States of America will not be able to hold back cryptocurrency. We saw what the court in India did. The Supreme Court in India, in April of this year, struck down a ban that the central bank placed on cryptocurrency transaction in India in 2018. And the court ruled in April of this year that what the central bank did was unconstitutional. And so the court ruled against the bank, the central bank. And so now India is free. I spoke about South Korea and the assembly that passes laws to facilitate the whole and the trade of cryptocurrency. I spoke about France. And so now here we go. We have Bank of America is treating Bitcoin and Ether, which is Ethereum, as cash. Hello. This is what does it say? Bank of America is treating Bitcoin and Ether. And this is what I am saying. When the headline is read, it should be Bank of America is treating TAC, Bitcoin, and Ether as cash. That is what it should be. But it cannot be if we remain as wandering generalities. What more evidence do you want that cryptocurrency is not going anywhere. And those who are running after fiat will be very poor when this is over. Because, may I say to you, the new norm for poverty after this, after the greatest transformation of wealth, because that is what now is taking place. The greatest transformation of wealth is now happening in front of your eyes, where a 12-year-old demonstrated by investing $1,000 8 years ago, he is now a multi-millionaire. And you know, I need to show a Finman, because a lot of you might think that Mr. Abundance is the first time I am on this thing and I'm hearing you talking about this 12-year-old. And so I will, as usual, I will pause to show. I did not have him queue up, but as I mentioned his name so fast, and I have to do it because it is the Eric Finmans of the world that will really condemn the PhDs and will condemn the master degree students. A dropout of school that at least had enough common sense to invest. There's so many videos of him here, but this is the one I want you to see. A dropout. And if you notice, I want to go back and show you one of the figures when he says are calling Bitcoin, that people are using Bitcoin for nefarious reason. Do you recognize this one? Jamie Dimon. He is the CEO of the largest financial institution in America, JP Morgan Chase. It was people like him who were calling Bitcoin fake when a 12-year-old was investing. And a lot of you with PhDs would have run from Bitcoin when you hear people like them speaking. Today, as you and I are watching this, he is now behind closed doors. Behind closed doors, working out deals with cryptocurrency exchanges. This same man, 5 years ago, called Bitcoin a fake. And so, I think it's a lesson. I think this should be a lesson for all of us. And so here we have finally New York planning to ease licensing for crypto companies. State financial regulator says. I said New York is planning to ease licensing. So you pick your choice. Who do you listen to? Do you listen to the unlearned? Do you listen to people who do not have the information that you have? Or do you educate them when they speak? I'm asking you the question though. Are you going to bottle? Mr. Abundance, so question and answering. I think I've gone through all that. I've gone to all that to show you. Not only did I put them there. Okay, I think I'm going too fast now. I think I'm going too fast. So there is a lot of okay, let's take them one by one. Okay, so I want to welcome again everybody. I think I have exhausted. Oh damn, it's 47 minutes. But may I say to you, when you're going uphill, you have to give information, because people need information. This we have the world has never seen anything like this period. What the fourth industrial revolution has presented to the world, a period when the greatest transformation of wealth will ever happen, where an ordinary man or a woman can move from poverty to be a trillionaire. I said no other industry allows that. It doesn't, no other industry allows it. And all what Mr. Abundance is saying, for this to happen, come in, bring 10 people with you, and teach them to do the same. How difficult can that be? You come in, you invest, and you bring 10 persons with you. And you show them the vision, you show them the mission, you show them the slogan, you show them our philosophy, and you show them our theme. And said, this is who we are. There is no other structure that can compare. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, my boss. TAC is going uphill. Stephen, good evening. You're batting first. Blessing. Good evening, sir, Mr. Abundance, and the entire house of Tiashem. TAC is going uphill. You can't afford to remain or go downhill. When you're going downhill, you slide down. Good evening, good afternoon. This is Ukraine. I think that is our leader in Namibia. Welcome. Please put your name, your country. Good evening, Namibia, I believe is speaking. We are going to remember by how many lives we impacted or how many problems we solved. That's correct. There goes my leader there. He's taking the class. Good evening. Yes. Good evening. Joel Carr out of Antigua now. Blessed good evening, Mr. Abundance and the house of Tiashan from Antigua and Barbuda. TAC is going uphill. Together we can and together we will. Now that is our philosophy. Good evening, John Emmanuel. I wonder if that is our deputy out of Nigeria. I'm not too sure. Good afternoon, Mr. Abundance. Forward ever, backward never. That's correct. Ali Tanis. Good evening to all our TAC community across the world. Fred Rampton. Together we can. Oh, the UK is in the house. I wonder where he sprints. Johnny the Bang. Greetings to the house. John Hebdo from Nigeria. How do we carry along the Francophones in the Sunday sessions? The Francophones, as I said, you will have to do a Sunday session for the Francophone people. This is not difficult. You have the information now. And so I am hoping that from next week, and I'm going to challenge you, I'm going to challenge N4, that just after this, we should have the Francophone from 3 until 4. I don't see no reason why the Francophone cannot have their own Sunday session on StreamYard, where they can give their inputs and X, Y, and Z. So I am challenging you and N4 from next Sunday, from 3 o'clock. Good evening, Tiashans in the house. Yes, good evening, Emmanuel Rosalind. Yes, Bishop. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the global community of Tiashans. This is God's will from West Africa. That's right, our regional director there. Good evening to all, NK. Madam Brown, great afternoon to our fearless and passionate leader and to all the Tiashan Trailblazers. We are currently moving uphill. Thank you, Madam Bahamas. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the entire community of Tiashan watching from Nigeria. Ambassador, greetings to the house, Mr. Abundance. Chisha, good evening. Greetings to everyone. This is Ren watching from the United Arab Emirates. Thank you, Mr. Abundance. Thank you very much, King Montana. Mr. Goodman. Good day, Mr. Abundance, King of all leaders. There is none like you. Oh, dear me. Have mercy. I'm humbled. To be honest with you, it's actually natural. If you notice, I am not forcing anything. In TAC, I am not forcing anything. Whatever I do is very natural. It's just like water flowing down on the back of a fowl, or water flowing down from a stream that find its natural path. Good evening, Mr. Abundance from Nigeria. Yes, good evening. Ariel Greatness, good day, great Tiashans. Good day, Mr. Abundance. Yes, Director. Good evening. Good evening, Jax R. Good evening. What do you mean by a third and final round? Uquesh, you know that if you look at TAC website, and that is why I am saying that I want meaningful people that will be meaningful, means that you need to go and read and look at the website and see the roadmap. The roadmap answer your question. There are 3 rounds of public sales that started March 30th and ends in December 31st. And so within that period, there are 3 rounds where the coins begin at 25 cents, move to 50 cents, and then finally to 75. Then goes to $1. But what Mr. Abundance is saying, had we raised the 2.5 in the first round, I could have canceled the other 2 rounds and go straight to the exchange where the coin now is at $1 and it's now at money. And so people who would have bought, for example, 5,000 coin in the foundation, they would have received 265,000 coin. And so being on the exchange, you no longer have $5,000, but you have $565,000. That's what going on the exchange means. That is what being meaningful and understanding the mission and the vision and what we're doing, so that you can teach, so that when you ask questions, you are armed. According to Madam Joan yesterday, think tac, breathe tac, live tac, you become what you think. You can never become anything more than what you think. And you are the sum total of what you produce. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't tell me how educated you are. You are the sum total of what you produce. What people are seeing around you, where you live, what you drive, at the moment, you are the sum total of what you produce. And if you don't like what you're seeing around you, do something about it. That's all. From Lesotho, good evening, Tiashen. Mamantoidi. Jia Masala. I didn't give you that name, my dear sister, our leader there in Lesotho. How can a coin gain monetary value? Well, as it is now, the coin is being appreciated by each round based on the procedure and the system in place, how cryptocurrency works. And so as we go on the exchange, the value will be determined by trading, buying and selling. That's what it is with Bitcoin. That's what it is with any other stock. One person cannot trade, it takes 2 to trade. And so when he goes on the exchange and you buy from the exchange for $1, then somebody might say, oh no, I cannot sell my coin for $1. And then it goes to 2. Then he start buying at 2. Then as Bitcoin is today, when it goes down, nobody wants to sell. It's the same thing, It's the same thing. That's how it goes. It's trading that will create the value. Supply and demand. The demand for it, the utility for it, the exposure. Good evening, Team TAC will not stop until we achieve the Bitcoin result in fewer years than Bitcoin. We achieved the Bitcoin result. That's correct. You said that yesterday. Good evening, great minds of the action. God will preserve us to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Cameroon is in the house. Which one is this? There's nothing there. Yes, good evening, great minds. Okay, yes, I think I've done that already. Bonan, do you have an assistant or organization to continue? You jive, should you unable to continue? Mr. Bonan, do you have an assistant or organization to continue to jive? May I say to you, anybody know the owner of Bitcoin? Do you think if the owner die, Bitcoin will die with it? That is the system that we're creating. That is the system that we're creating. That it does not depend whether Mr. Abundance live or die, or any Tiashan for that matter. That is when you do things transparent and you put things in the proper system so that it does not depend on whether one man live or die. Good day, Mr. Abundance and the great community of Tiashan. Let together move TAC uphill. Thank you, good sir. I share your vision and passion. We will do it. Amen. Oh, that's Anthony. That's our leader there in Trinidad and Tobago. This man needs our strong prayers because the aristocrats will work hard to kill this vision and the visionary, because they don't want anybody to liberate from their grip, and that is that's true in nature. That they don't mind us get educated, but educated slaves. That's what they want. Educated slaves to work for them. But sad to say, the one elite is losing grip. I love the phrase, those who are running after fiat will end up very poor. And that is true. Those who are running after fiat will end up very poor. Very poor. Because if you run after fiat, it means that you're exchanging hours for labor. Yeah, and that is why Robert Kiyosaki had that 4 quadrant where he shows the employee, the sole proprietor, the investor, and the big business. He showed that 4 quadrant now. Good evening, Tiashan. Yes, Madam Joy over there. The Bank of America has now endorsed Bitcoin, Ethereum, and TAP. So shall it be. I endorse that. I endorse that, Ambassador. The Bank of America has now endorsed Bitcoin, Ethereum, and TAC. That is it. One breath. If I bring 10 person and those other under me bring 10, will the downline referrals be counted in the 500? It stops with you. It stops with your first referral. Their referral, for example, you bring the first 10, that is your referral. You will get the 7 or 20% bonus. And I like the question you're asking, by the way, but that's what I want, questions. And so the first 10 person you bring, they are your direct referral. And so in this period, you will get 7 or 20% depending on how much they bought in that month period. Now, when we go on the exchange, you will get residual income, and this is very interesting for you now. You will get residual income as they do transactions. You get residual incomes from not only the 10 that you bought, but down to the 3rd level. those people that your 10 brought and those people that your 10 brought in. So down to the third level, you will get 25, I think 10 and 5%. So the first level, 25%, second level, 10%, but that's when we're on the exchange. And it's no more, and it will not be in TAC. It will be in Bitcoin. So that is what is going to be in the fiat until we become the premier coin, and then there'll be no reason for you to have Bitcoins, if you understand what I'm saying, because that's where we're going. So only the 10 people that you brought in are counted to make up your 500. I hope I answered that question. O is after an hour. O. Hello, Mr. Abundance and all the Tiashans. I salute you. All TAC is going uphill, and we are standing. We are standing. We can see Canaan in the distance and can now smell its fresh air. Amen. Rachel, amen. Kenya, okay, that's good. What is the francophones? What is the francophone? The francophones are the francophone, the countries now, the French countries in Africa. They're talking about like Mali and the DRC and the Congos, you know, and Benin and Burkina Faso and the Ivory Coast and Gabon. That's what we're talking about. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, Mr. Prince. Powerful indeed. I'm excited for this opportunity to share with others. Thank you very much, our leader there, Madam Diana McDonald, our Senior Executive Coordinator in Antigua and Barbuda. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the House of Tiashans. Indeed, a lot of meat on the bones. Thank you very much, my director there in France. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, all the Tiashans. We will together keep the top candle burning from Ghana. Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much, my brother. Good evening, Mr. Abundance in the house. Together we can do more. That's correct. Great. Thank you. Thank you. It does not depend on whether Abundance live or die. You better believe that. The system does not depend on whether Mr. Abundance live or die. And there is no goalpost that will be shifted in the abundance coin. When you see the goalpost, when you look up and you see the goalpost and you look down, have the ball in play and you kick the ball, when you look up, you should see the goalpost. You should see the goalpost. It is time for us to stop play with the credibility of others, because that is why we're having such a hard time with a good and authentic programs, because those who have came, according to Dr. Arika, with shiny objects, unrealistic goals, and sold it to us, because that is the problem today. They have sold us unrealistic goals, and our people are so greedy. They are so selfish, full of ignorance, and may I say desperate. And so I just want to thank everybody that are here today. Thanks for your time. Let us put TAC in God's hand and take it safely to the promised land. Greetings from Namibia. I like you said, let us put it in God's hand. But may I say to you, my good brother, faith without work is dead. And the churches has left a lot of things in God's hands and do nothing. But show me your faith, and I'll show you my work by my faith. And so God promised the children of Israel that they should go into a land flows with milk and honey. But history showed and told us that 80% never reached. They never reached. What should have taken them 40 days took them 40 years. Because, may I say, they left it in God's hands and did nothing but murmur. Did nothing but murmur. And so, I am saying to all of us that we have the promised and we know it's already done, but we have a part to play. We can't just sit down and just think that God will do it. No, he has already given us the ability, just like those who have enslaved us for years. They did not do it by standing up and put it in God's hand. They came together and make a decision and they move with it. And they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. They accomplish everything they set out to do. And so we don't have the luxury. We have to make a decision and be sound and go after it. Because that is what God meant. Anyhow, good speech. I'm high, dream big. And on that note, I said to the House of Tiashen, good evening. And thank you for joining Mr. Abundance in the Sunday session. Tough times do not last, but tough people do. TAC is going uphill.